What is the currency of the future looks like, and how are we going to pay for stuff and send and receive money? Apple is trying to do Apple Pay, Google is trying to do Google Pay, Samsung is doing Samsung Pay, and in China, WeChat and Alipay, I think, are the paying options there. But you know, I'm not gonna talk about the Chinese versions of payments because I'm not gonna talk about them. Technically, they are great. Privacy wise, they are horrible. So I'm gonna focus on more about the Western options like Apple Pay and Google Pay. Why didn't they kill cash? Why isn't it very widely acceptable, or replacing cash, replacing all the cards and our payment options now? Mainly it comes to the user experience and how everyone is doing their work separately, not in cooperation, and there is no cohesive vision for the future. Like let's say Apple Pay, because it's the one that is the best now in terms of widely instead of just being a couple of stores and retailers here and there. It's more used than Google Pay by far, I think. Why didn't it kill cash? Because there is the barrier of entry for the retailers and for every shop is very high. It requires investing in hardware like a terminal that accepts Apple Pay with NFC payments. It requires expensive hardware. It requires everybody to have iPhone. They are not interoperable. I think this is a word, which means all the platforms, all the like Android can pay and Samsung can pay normally in these terminals, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. Apple Pay only accepts iPhones or Apple Watch as well, and it has to be through a certain terminal that accepts Apple Pay, which is expensive and it's not seamless. Not like taking a Master or a Visa or American Express or whatever card you have and taking it or swiping it into the terminal and it just works. It should be like everybody, whoever owns a phone can pay without the barrier of hardware for retailers and merchants, or the barrier of creating an account on a certain website or a service like PayPal or Venmo or Square Cash, whatever. This is a barrier. This is what doesn't make it very appealing and seamless and easy. So I think how it should be for everyone to adopt it and become a mainstream and replace cash entirely and replace these bulky wallets of cards. It just has to be, first of all, it doesn't have to be just for a specific type of devices like iOS devices or Apple devices. It has to be for everyone, and it has to be very simple. Like, for example, going to a store, you are going to pay, let's say, for example, $10. The cashier will enter the cashier, and the sellers and merchants has to create the account to receive the payments in. And they already have it on the terminals, on a computer or on a phone. Create like, I will want to receive $10, and it will show a QR code. The customer, without installing any app, without creating any account, will just pull up their phones, scan this QR code, and it takes them to a website. This website says at first, for confirmation, you are about to pay $10. Pay or cancel. As soon as they hit pay in the web page, it just asks for entering the card numbers and CVS, I think, and the expiry dates, all this information, and just hit pay, and that's it. The transaction is done. The money is transferred from your bank account to the merchant's account, and that's it. without any friction of creating accounts, installing apps, or having a specific type of a device, just universal across all devices. This is what it takes to get it to the masses and make it a mainstream payment option to over time replace cash. Of course, having an app and instead of going to our web page is way better, especially that it's a bit more secure. But that's gonna happen when the customer finds a value in it, when they find that I can go get pay for my groceries, pay for the taxi or the Uber, or pay for even a homeless person in the street, pay him or her with that way. Let's call this way pay me, okay? And it will be universal, very easy, and instantaneously transferring the money from the person paying to the receiver in less than an hour, and they get a confirmation that they have received this amount of money on their account. The receiver always has to have an account, but the person paying doesn't have. Why does a person paying has to make an account? Just like I want to pay $10 for that person. You don't have to know a lot about me or my account or anything. Just need card details, pay, that's it. And over time, it will become like a mainstream. Just go to doesn't require investing in any hardware, which is very expensive and usually the barrier of entry, which make it less common to find a place to pay with Apple Pay, for example, in any city. And just show the screen, QR code, you are done. There are, of course, problems like if an American person is in France, how they will handle the money conversion, the fees, all that stuff. It can be done as through like studies of how much and should it be costing and the fees, all of that stuff. But it has to be better than the MasterCard and Visa cards of today. Who can do this? I think the best people in the best position to do this is MasterCard and Visa. They have to work on a unified, universal solution for that. And also Apple and Google can do it. There are multiple people or entities, companies can do it. But cryptocurrency as good as it sounds, and the technical blockchain, the technicality of blockchain is very interesting and very like intriguing. It really is. But in fact, I don't think cryptocurrencies that is not backed by governments will ever be a thing that can become a mainstream because of so many other problems that will arise over time. But this is a whole other topic. It's just cryptocurrency is great for payments, but it will never be a mainstream currency. This is what I think of how payments should be done, not through a special type of hardware like Apple is doing. It's not like only online like some people are doing. It has to be for both online and offline world, like actual stores, and very simple, especially on the end user's side of paying, not receiving. And there should be more. The governments and the companies should do more to encourage killing cash. Cash is it's like cavemen do what we're doing. It's so ancient. I mean, it doesn't serve today's world very very well. And certainly it's a huge waste of time and financially unsustainable. Not unsustainable, but it costs a lot of money, unnecessary amount of money, and has a lot of dangers. Anyway, I'd like to know what do you think of the future economy and how people would pay in the future. I'm not interested that much in the economical and financial part. I'm just interested of how it can enhance our future and how it can make it better, and the value it will add for the human beings, and how the society and how life will get easier without cash. It's insanely better without cash. You don't have to find a bill with a certain value to pay, and they don't have a change. You can pay easily and safely to anyone in a very seamless experience if you just ditched all the cash and relied on online payments, online payments, because it requires internet, of course. And that's it. Let me know what you think, and if you disagree or feel free to let me know, and let's have an intellectual conversation about this.